Yeah, okay, mate. So let's just look at ENA. For me, it's an interesting coin because there was a lot of hype around it, and you know, we are getting that sell off. There is that large trend line. So let's look at it. It is difficult to know if it's ideal under 90. Let's just remove these for a second. Now, what I was looking at, and what I thought was an amazing potentially, was this area. Now, I'll not even lie. I got stopped out twice on two very, very small losses, right? But I was trying to knife catch in here, hoping that it would create a higher low. All right, so I was hoping it would create a higher low. Somewhere in here, it didn't create the higher low, and it kind of dipped down. I'll go into the 10-minute chart actually, and we'll have a look at that. So I got caught out a little bit on this. I was just trying to knife catch it. There's your low here, right? That's your 3-day. So I was hoping it would form a higher low actually, and because there was a spike in volume, I think it was maybe it was here, and then I tried to buy here, and it gave this red candle, and I just got out again. Very small losses here, something like that. And I think I also tried here. I bought somewhere here, and it tried to bounce, and once this came back down to here, I got out, and I think I had a very, very small loss on that again. I tried twice there somewhere to get long on this, and then I was extremely frustrated that I didn't buy the stop hunt. I got caught up then. I don't know what I was doing. I was making videos and other things. I'm not sure what I was at, to be honest. But by the time I looked at this, then it had bounced back up here or something like that, and I was like, you know, I was like, shit, I missed that opportunity right at the very lows. But I knew that there was an opportunity here, either just above the stop hunt level, or we would get the stop hunt, right? I had hoped it would work here, and I was trying to get long on it, but I knew it was risky. I didn't alert in the group or anything because it was still dropping. The market was bearish. The Bitcoin was dropping. It was all still a bit bearish. I should have had patience and waited for the stop hunt level. I wish I had seen the exact stop hunt level. That would have been beautiful, because it did actually bounce. If I had just bought spot here, you know, there's a 13% bounce on that. I knew it was a good area, but now's the problem. Now is the problem. Why is this stop hunt level not holding? This stop hunt level in strength should have held, and we should have bounced off that level. So now it does make me concerned, right? You're asking about the below the 90. So I just wanted to talk about that, because if this was as big a level as I expected, this should have broke out here and moved higher, eventually moved higher. Now, could it still do that? It could, but we have a new 3-day candle in 3 hours time. This is now a poor close. It is not as good a close. I wanted this to bounce up to here and close up here somewhere. If this closed up here somewhere, well, I was then expecting the new 3-day to potentially have a bounce back to the highs, because it would have shown strength. It didn't do that. This is now showing weakness by closing this low, even though there is a bit of a bullish stop hunt here. So what I'm trying to get at is, and what I'm trying to explain is, that because of the weakness, I'm now concerned that this could keep rolling and flushing to the downside. That this, because of the weakness, this could continue to flush back down. So I'm not sure if the 90-cent level, below 90-cent level, is good. If we stop hunt the 90-cent level, let me just say that again. Let me rephrase that. If we stop hunt the lows here again, well, then I'm interested, right? Then I will get interested again. Yes, there's already the stop hunt level, but I don't like the weakness. If we do come down and do that again, well, that would get me interested, right? Because we could then form a bullish 3-day candle. Breaks of these large trend lines can be very powerful, right? I showed this one in the group. Whatever way, you know, there's a trend line there. I can zoom in on it maybe, and you know, you can see the break of this trend line here. Whatever way you want to draw that, you want to, up there or whatever, but you can see that this was also a bullish stop hunt on the lows, right? This is what I'm talking about again. This was still looking weak. but it gave this last bullish stop hunt here to then bounce to the upside, and that's kind of what I would like to see here again. This one more fake out, one more stop hunt to wipe out all of these longs, sorry, all of these orders and stops below, and then you know, potentially move to the upside. So yes, maybe buys below the lows can be fantastic, but I'm also weary that this pattern, you know, a touch, a touch, a touch, and then what about a fourth touch? What if this continues to flush? Just be careful of that. But if we stop on this level, yes, I do like it. But I just wanted to stress at it because it is a tricky situation. Now, why do I still like it, and why do I think it still can give potential? And the thing is, maybe we're not even going to get another stop hunt. Well, because we've already stop hunted on the weekly. This is the other thing that I want to stress about, that maybe the low was already in. So if this stop hunt on the weekly is going to hold, well, if it can close in 4 days time up here somewhere, right? So let's just draw anywhere there, for example, which means there would be a large wick here. Well, the new weekly candle could then do this next week, which means that we're still in a buying range right now, okay, potentially, right? So yes, this is going to close weak in 3 hours time. Well, it looks like it is down 3% on the day. It looks like it's going to close pretty weak on the day. So what we would want to see on a new 3-day candle is basically something like this. A very small wick to the downside. This is the other option, right? A very small wick to the downside, and then a pop up and close here. And then on a new weekly, we could bounce then on to the upside. So that's the two scenarios. Are we going to take a liquidity grab in here before bouncing to the upside, or are we going to run the stops at the lows again before bouncing to the upside? They're obviously the two bullish situations. Now, I'm just saying, I'm a little bit uneasy because this is closing so poor. So I just want to stress that we do need to be careful, but there is potential here. So I do think we should watch this very, very carefully on a new 3-day, which is in 3 hours time. And well, yeah, I think a new day is going to be extremely important. And then if it holds, well, then into a new weekly candle. If I'm correct, well, it's not that I'm correct. I'm not predicting that this bounce. I'm just saying there's opportunity. But you know, my initial thoughts were that this level was going to be huge. It's a huge level for the market, but maybe this is another gift that it's back down here. If we can bounce and break this trend line, there could be a really big bounce off this. So I think it is important to be watching this. But below this white line is considered bearish, right? We got to be careful. So anyway, mate, I will be watching this. I do think it's worth watching just to see if this can hold. It's into a very important point.